Yes, everybody, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is your girl Danny, and I'm coming in at you live tonight. I got somebody special. This is a good sister friend of mine, right? Let me read you this bio. First of all, welcome to Melanin Masterpieces, where you come in and you get 15 to 20 minutes of time to talk about your business, talk about your life with your business. Hey, listen. Tonight, I'm excited. Oh my God! I wish we had a whole hour tonight, but we don't. But let me before I formally introduce her. Okay. Her name is Devi Maisha. Okay. And let me just tell you a little bit about this sister. Okay. Okay. She's a transformational guide and the visionary behind Sensual Energy Alchemy. First of all, Sensual Energy Alchemy. Her unique approach to sacred sexuality, where sensuality, power, and ancient wisdom converge. Okay. Okay. With a unique fusion of sex magic. I'm telling y'all gonna be look, we gonna get into this tonight, okay? Sex magic, somatic healing, and spiritual alchemy. She empowers women to reclaim their vitality, embrace their pleasure, and harness their energy for personal and collective liberation. And her mantra, you ready for this mantra? I show Black women how to unlock their power and purpose through pleasure, so they can live authentically and experience more love and more money. With no further ado, I'll give you my sister, Miss Devi Maisha from Sensual Energy Alchemy. Come on, sister.
Thank you. I love how you read that.
Come on now. It's a little bit about me that you don't know too, but go on. It's all about you tonight. Welcome to the show. Talk to us.
Thank
Sensual
you.
Energy Alchemy. Where did the name come from?
Yeah, it's a great question, but it came to me. But sensual has to do with your five senses, so it's about your body, and energy is your power. It's how you move in the world, how you walk in rooms, how you speak, how you approach others, how you allow others to approach you. And alchemy is the ability to transform your painful experiences into your greatest strengths, into your power.
Okay.
Sensual energy alchemy.
All right. Five senses. Sensual. Taste, touch, hear, see. Okay, go ahead and smell. Okay, go on the senses. All right, come on. Come on now. Come on with some more. Energy alchemy. But wait. I'm blown away because I love it. And I'm not making fun at all. Believe me. I'm a Scorpio. So if you know anything about Scorpios, okay. So the name just I was like, boom. That's what, like, look, I gotta get sister on the show, because now I have a niece who's a spiritual goddess, and that kind of blends into all of that stuff, and moving energies and Reiki and all of that good stuff, right? So the name came to you through a dream, through you being a coach, through you. Tell me about it. What intrigued you the most about the senses, moving the energies and stuff like that? Talk to me.
Yeah, so I think it comes from my background as a dancer, singer,
Okay.
personal trainer. I've been involved with the body on different levels for most of my life, and then really understanding that a background in studying psychology, how we take in the world through our five senses starts to shape how we see things, how we move through things.
Okay.
And then if we can understand that and understand how much our body is involved and how we feel, how we hold emotions, right? It's not just about our mindset or our thoughts, but it's about how the body is holding on to emotions.
Absolutely.
And then if we can learn how to release that energy through alchemy, then we can create a life that we love. And I think it was just my background. The name really came to me. I don't remember how but it came to me, and it's just been that ever since.
Okay. All right. So now tell me about the other side to that coin. We talked about the five senses. Now talk about the vitality part, the sex magic part, because that's the part that a lot of people are going to say, huh? What's that all about? So make it clear.
Yeah. I mean, I like to say sex magic for fun, right? But really, there's an idea in spirituality. There's something called sympathetic magic, if you will. And I use the word magic loosely. We're all magical. The fact that, an egg allowed a sperm to come in and we're here is really kind of magical when you think about it,
That
right?
part, pal.
So when it comes to our orgasm,
Mhm.
orgasm is part of what can bring life into this world, right?
Mhm.
All things being beautiful, a beautiful experience.
Yep.
You're having this orgasmic bliss. There's contraction in the vaginal canal. The sperm is traveling. The egg lets the sperm come in, and boom, you've got this brand new human being
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
comes out like with all of the we are that.
Yeah.
So taking that same kind of concept that you can create literal life, whether you have the parts or not, but that we can create literal life through that act, taking that same energy and choosing to create something else can also be possible.
Okay.
So that's where that comes in on a very surface level, but it actually gets very deep into the body and into our stored emotions and into how much we're willing to allow ourselves to receive when it comes to
Okay.
pleasure.
Okay. So, how does one harness their energy to create or collective liberation? How does one harness that energy that you just talked about?
So many ways to do it. But I'll say before you even get to harnessing your energy, you have to make sure your energy is clear.
Right.
Right? Otherwise, you are creating something that you may not want. So if you're seeking to create liberation out of fear, it's the fear that will come through first,
Right.
not the liberation.
Okay.
So we always want to remove, we want to work through that part. And that's the difficult part. We want to work through those things. That's what we'll call shadow work, right?
Okay. Okay.
And now once we're clear, our energy is clear. It's like farming, right? You got to clear the weeds, clear the stuff. You got to till the soil. Now you get to plant the seed of what you desire. And we're just planting the seed through pleasure. Now it can be through self-pleasure, i.e. masturbation. Masturbation really kind of means to defile oneself with one hand. So I'm not a big fan of the word, but it can be through self-pleasure. It can be through dance. It can be through meditation, wherever someone is comfortable. But it can, just as we have become wired through pain, our painful experiences tell us, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to touch that. No one's ever going to hurt me again.
Right.
We can wire our body through pleasure to say, yes, I would like that in my life. Yes, I receive that over here. Yes, I'll have more of that, please. Okay. So that's what sex magic can do.
Okay, so it's just flipping of the libido below to libido above.
Exactly. It's combining. Okay. It's really where they meet in the middle. And they meet in the heart.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I like that. My dog is I don't know. Let me tell you something about dogs. I think he done lost his mind.
Dog is happy to hear the conversation.
He's something going on over there, because usually he laying right here chilling and just listening, and he might even start snoring. But tonight he ain't feeling us. And in about 2.5 seconds, I'm gonna have to go let him out the room, because my wife in there asleep, and he gonna get both of us put out the house. So tell me a little bit more about okay, what would you want the people to know about the collision? Because you got collision, right? Yeah. You got the lower libido with the senses, the brain, the vibrant libido that lives in between your two ears, right? And they collide somewhere around the chakra here, your heart chakra, right?
Right.
So then does manifestation happen, or how does it get to the cultivating the other energy towards what you're talking about? Talk to me.
Wonderful question. So first, we're always manifesting because we're always creating.
Okay.
Now, what we're creating most of the time is not even from our conscious mind. Right? It's based on our patterns of behavior that we're just accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
So we are all energetic beings. Our heart literally has its own frequency, vibration, right? We
I'm
have
gonna let you finish. Go ahead and finish, but I'm gonna let the dog out. So go ahead. Go ahead. The
who
people
let
listening,
the
go
dog
ahead.
out? Right. So I'm gonna talk to y'all while Danny deals with her dog. We all have our own vibration, our own energetic signature, our own energetic frequency. We are as individual as our fingerprints. And when we are in tune with our uniqueness, with our soul's blueprint, with our own vibration, now we can be what's called in alignment with what we desire. So we're now walking more in alignment with what it is that we want to bring to us, because that frequency, that vibration, we're not just these human beings, right?
Right.
We are literally these vibrational beings. And so when we're in alignment with our soul vibration, and this is just my belief, right?
Okay.
Then
Okay.
now we're in a space where we can draw to us that which we desire. And it doesn't mean that life is always happy, it's easy, or anything like that, but we're clear on what we're desiring, and we learn how to deal with the parts of life that might be uncomfortable or painful.
Mm. Mm. That's a good point, and and I like how you explain that, because I wrote a book, Pretty Little Bastard Child, right? And Pretty Little Bastard Child is it's a true memoir about a very traumatic upbringing. My life was very traumatic, and it was things that I couldn't control. And as I got older, that was the energy that I held, and I became very dark. And it took me some time to get to the place of where I allowed myself to become light. And but it took a whole lot of work. It took a whole lot of maneuvering and the collision course of the chakras, and allowing people to not people, allowing the spirit, should I say, to saturate what was, because what was really shouldn't have been. And but it allowed me to be more of an empath than I've ever been in my life. And I really identify to what you Handsome, I'm gonna kill you tonight. I'm throwing him right
It's,
out on the deck.
it's the
It's
energy.
the energy. It's
Yeah,
the energy.
the animals feel it, They're
I'm
just
telling you, he never does this on a Tuesday. He comes and he lays right between my legs and just chills out right here and da 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 da. You did this, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna come on, baby boy. Come on. You see him when we on chief call. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He's just
yeah,
chilling. Yeah.
yeah,
Chilling
quiet,
like this.
quiet.
You ain't never heard this, but it's okay. Come on, Bubba. But so okay. Next question. What keeps you energized
Besides sex.
besides sex?
I mean, and that's not the answer for everybody, right? Um, what keeps me energized? Dance. Dance does it. Music does it. Um, good food does it.
Okay.
Hydration does it. My mission
Stop. Handsome.
does it.
Cut it. Come here.
My
Mm-hmm.
mission keeps me
Mm-hmm.
energized.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. 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 All right. All right. So tell the people a little something about yourself that A is interesting, B that uh connects directly to your business,
Hmm.
and C, this is a three-part question, and C, that the average person who just, from a look at you wouldn't know.
Oh, wonderful. So I was in an abusive relationship. My marriage was an abusive marriage. The dog is loving the conversation, y'all. That's really what's happening here. And he really just wants to be involved in everything that's going on. I love it. Um, I was married to someone who had his own mental health issues. And I was very young, getting married to this person. And he has since passed away. But that marriage really did a number on my self concept, my self worth that was already not that great to begin with. And it took me just as long in the marriage as it did out of the marriage to find really my voice and myself. Because in that marriage, my husband was it. So my daughter, for instance, she, you know, there was one conversation we had where she said that in the marriage, I was meek. And I don't think anyone who meets me now would ever use that word to describe me. But that was me then. I was very quiet. I was very afraid. I lived afraid every day of his anger, of what he might do. And he never laid a hand on me. He didn't ever have to. It was always the threat and thought of. And my life was threatened a few times in that marriage. So that experience that people probably wouldn't look at me and think I went through that. And having conversations with him after that experience when I left the marriage led me to understand better how people, but especially women, because I'm living my life as a woman, how we get into those situations. And a lot of times because we're very disconnected from ourselves, we don't actually know what we want. We don't know how to use our voice to say yes, to say no. We've been taught to listen to authority to the point where we don't decide for ourselves. We don't want people to dislike us.
Right.
Many of us have been abused. I experienced abuse before I even met him.
Yeah.
So all of those experiences really led to me and so many like molestation and sexual assault and things like that I've experienced that you would think I wouldn't be teaching what I'm teaching, but those experiences for me led me to teach this.
Well, you know, again, like I mentioned earlier with me, it taught me how to appreciate my sexual being, but to take that part of me and learn how to love. So I'm not just the sexual being, you know what I'm saying? And allow myself to be loved and not just sexed. And I think that's what happens with, you know, people who have sexual trauma. You know, we pride ourselves in being the biggest freak in the world, and oh my God, I just love it, and oh yeah. But there are so many other things that come along with sensuality, and not just sexuality. You know, and I believe that that's what the blessing of what your business is all about and what you teach women to do, because I think a lot of us, there's so many more of us that have had physical, emotional, mental, and sexual trauma at a very early age and didn't understand that's not how that's supposed to feel. That's not how you're supposed to be treated. And later on, like you said, you know, it was the fear, you know, like, and then the fear turns around on us and it's like, okay, but, you know, I know you're doing all these things to me, but please don't leave me. Because we think that's how we're supposed to get taught. You know, that's what we're taught. Like, oh, you know, trauma becomes our innate, you know, thing that we go to. And if he ain't slapping the crap out of us, she ain't beating me down, they don't love me. That's not true.
That's right.
You know, but it takes time to learn that. So.
Yeah. And that becomes the thing that you're worth. That's why I led with that. Right. I led with sex because that was what I was worth. And if I wasn't doing that, if I wasn't giving that, who was actually going to love me? Right. Who was going to want to be with me? If I brought all the rest of me to the table. So that was a lot of undoing of that work. And like I said, it took me just as long in it as out of it to undo it. It's always still unraveling. I don't ever want people to think that there's an end to the healing. There's still always what I call shrapnel.
Always.
That pops up in the mind when you least expect it of, oh, I still have this other thing to think about, or this other thing that's lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, and the blessing about healing is that your healing is your responsibility. I say your trauma is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. That's my mantra. But healed people heal people. That does not mean I'm healed. It means I'm healing. And until God poses these pretty browns, blues, greens, or grays, you're not healed.
That's
You
right.
just don't trigger as quick
That's
or anymore.
that's exactly it. And you
All
know,
right. Yeah. So we got 1 more minute. I know you got a hard 20 that you got to go. Tell us one more thing for the people, and we're going to let you go and get out of here so you can go and get the bag. So go on. Tell us one more thing before I let you go.
one more thing that I would love your audience to know is that the body is not taboo.
Okay.
There's a lot of religious, societal, and cultural conditioning that has us separate and separate from our body and our pleasure, that has us separate from our emotions,
Mhm.
because many of us were taught how not to feel them, right?
Right.
Sit down, shut up, fix your face.
Right.
I don't want to see any of that,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
So we weren't allowed to feel anything. And now
mhm.
many of us are walking around as adults, not able to actually feel anything. And I
Yeah.
want to encourage people to slowly, at their own pace, start feeling and then deal with that pain and let it, as you have done, become their greatest strength.
That's it. That's it. Well, my sister, I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Many more blessings.
Thank
Oh my God, this is going to be a bit much. I'm gonna put it across all of my socials. Of
I'll
course.
come back anytime.
Okay, and we're already connected, so it's not a big deal. But I want my people to know that this sister is somebody to watch. You got to go to her page. You got to check out her stuff. She has her own podcast on YouTube. You just check it out. And Grameen Sisters, if you don't know who this is, you better get involved with her, because you know what she's talking is real, and that's the only way for the real healing to happen from especially sexual trauma or physical trauma. You got to go within in order to come without. I love you, sister, today. Don't let nobody steal your joy. We'll talk real soon. Thank you for coming in.